Hi, my dear students. Warm greetings of the day. Today, I am going to discuss the fourth activity in the chapter Horagallu by Sudhamurthy. The activity is very important. It deals with a very important grammar topic. The activity is related to adjectives. Even though the word grammar etymologically has some connection with the glamour, most of the students find grammar the most unglamorous topic. But for some students, grammar is very interesting, especially those students who love math and accountancy. They also love grammar, and for them, grammar is a glamorous topic. If you apply your mind, if you learn it thoroughly, if you learn it carefully, grammar will definitely become a glamorous topic. So here I am going to discuss a very important grammar topic. The topic is adjectives. I hope you all know what an adjective is. You studied adjectives in your lower primary classes, in your upper primary classes, and even in your high school classes. I know that all of you have a very clear idea about adjectives. This is just an attempt to help you to revisit those topics and to make the concepts very clear. So what is an adjective? The definition that you studied in your high school classes or lower primary classes. Adjective is a word which describes a noun, or it can be considered as a word which qualifies a noun or a pronoun. A word which describes a noun or a pronoun, or a word which gives additional meaning to a noun or a pronoun. So it is a describing word. With regard to the position of adjectives in a sentence, we can broadly classify them into two categories. Those two categories are attributive adjectives and predicative adjectives. You don't feel worried when you come across these terms, attributive adjective and predicative adjective. The concepts are very simple. Just think about the position of an adjective in a sentence. If the adjective comes just before the noun, it can be considered as an attributive adjective. Just take an example. He is a smart boy. Smart is an attributive adjective which describes the noun boy. Then take another example. He is smart. There is no noun there. It qualifies the pronoun in that sentence, he. It comes after verb. So this is a predicative adjective. So adjectives can be used attributively and predicatively. Another fact about these adjectives is that a noun can be described by an attributive and a predicative adjective, whereas pronouns can only be qualified by a predicative adjective. Just go through these two examples. Ram is a handsome boy. Boy is the noun. Handsome is the adjective. It is an attributive adjective. Ram is handsome. Handsome is adjective. Ram is the noun. Handsome is a predicative adjective which qualifies Ram. Attributive adjective and predicative adjective can be used to qualify nouns. But predicative adjective can only be used to qualify a pronoun. We cannot use the expression, I find a smart he or I find a smart she. Instead of that, we have to use the expression he is smart or she is smart. So, predicative adjectives are used to qualify pronouns. With regard to the position of adjectives in a sentence, we can broadly classify them into predicative adjective and attributive adjectives. With regard to the meanings and functions of adjectives in a sentence, we can broadly classify adjectives into 8 different categories. Let us examine these 8 categories, classifications of adjectives. First, go through the 8 different kinds of adjectives. The first one is proper adjective. The second one is adjective of quality. The third one is adjective of quantity. The fourth one is numeral adjective. Fifth one is distributive adjective. Sixth one is demonstrative adjective. Seventh one, interrogative adjective. And the last one, the 8th one is possessive adjective. So, they are the 8 different types of adjectives, 8 different kinds of adjectives. Now, we shall discuss what a proper adjective is. We shall deal with proper adjectives. What are proper adjectives? Proper adjectives are those adjectives which are formed from proper nouns. That means, which are formed from the names of persons, places, or things. Just consider a name, Gandhi. The adjective is Gandhian. The expression Gandhian principles. Principles is noun. Gandhian is a proper adjective which qualifies the noun principles, Gandhian principles. Or Nehruvian socialism. Socialism is noun and Nehruvian is an adjective which is formed from that proper noun, the name of a person, Nehru. The name of a place and the adjectives which are formed from the names of places. Just think about the expression Himalayan task, the expression Himalayan blunder. Blunder is an example of a noun. Himalayan. Himalaya, the name of a mountain, the name of a place, and the adjective which is formed from Himalaya is Himalayan. It is a proper adjective which is formed from the name of a place, formed from the name of a mountain. These are examples of proper adjectives. You have come across the various types of proper adjectives. I hope now you have a clear idea about what a proper adjective is. The second type of adjective is the adjective of quality. Adjective of quality denotes the quality of a person, place, or thing. It also denotes the weaknesses, the drawbacks. And adjectives of quality can also be used to denote the state of a person, place, or thing. Just take these examples. He is smart, or he is handsome. She is an intelligent girl. So, smart, handsome, intelligent. These are all examples of adjectives of quality. It also speaks about the weaknesses. He is mischievous. Mischievous is an example of an adjective of quality. A mischievous boy, a mischievous girl. It also speaks about the state of something. The weather is cold. The weather is hot. A glass of hot water. So, hot, cold, etc. are all examples of adjectives of quality. The third type of adjective is adjectives of quantity. Those adjectives denote the quantity of something or an idea. Examples. He has taken a huge effort. Huge is an example of an adjective of quantity. Add some salt to the dish. Some is an adjective of quantity which qualifies salt. Add some sugar. Some sugar. Some is an example of an adjective of quantity which qualifies the noun sugar. So some, huge, little, these are all examples of adjectives of quantity. Now we move on to the fourth type of adjective. Another important adjective, adjective of number or numeral adjective. A numeral adjective denotes the number of a person or place or thing. There are two types of number. One is cardinal number and the other one is ordinal number. Cardinal numbers denote the number of person, place, things like 1, 2, 3, etc. Whereas ordinal number denotes the order of something. For example, first, second, third. So two types of numbers, cardinal and ordinal numbers. Apart from these cardinal and ordinal numbers, some other numeral adjectives are there. For example, several, a few, some can also be considered as numeral adjectives. Just consider these examples. Some boys are playing in the field. Some boys are playing. Several boys are playing. A few boys are playing. So all these adjectives can be considered as adjectives of number or numeral adjectives. We are moving on to the fifth category, distributive adjective. What do you mean by a distributive adjective? Distributive adjectives are those adjectives which denote a person or thing separately. Examples: each, every, neither, nor, either. These are all examples of distributive adjectives. Take examples like this. Each student has to submit the assignment. So, the adjective is used to denote someone separately. Each student has to submit the assignment. Every student has to submit. Neither Gopal nor Ram has come to the party. These are all examples of distributive adjectives. Then three more types of adjectives are there. Sixth one is demonstrative adjective. Seventh one is interrogative adjective. And the last one is possessive adjective. You have to learn it carefully because you have to make a fine distinction between adjectives and pronouns here. So there are demonstrative adjectives and demonstrative pronouns. There are interrogative adjectives and interrogative pronouns. And there are possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. So you should be in a position to make a fine distinction between pronouns and adjectives here. So the first one, demonstrative adjective. So what do you mean by a demonstrative adjective? Demonstrative adjectives are those adjectives which denote, which point out a person or thing. These adjectives point out which person or which thing is meant. So demonstrative adjectives are those adjectives which point out which person or which thing is meant. Example: this boy is intelligent. These flowers are beautiful. That bag is expensive. So the adjectives this, those, that, etc. are examples of demonstrative adjectives. They point out which bag, which flower, which thing, which person, etc. Here, demonstrative adjectives come just before the nouns, whereas demonstrative pronouns can easily be detected. There is a difference. Just take these examples. Consider these examples. This is my bag. That is a beautiful flower. This is an expensive bag. There, this, that, all are examples of demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative adjectives come just before nouns, but demonstrative pronouns do not come just before nouns. We can easily draw a fine distinction between demonstrative pronouns and demonstrative adjectives. The next category of adjective is interrogative adjective. So the interrogative adjectives are which, what, and whose. Think about these examples. Interrogative adjectives also come just before the nouns. Whose bag is this? What news did he bring? Which car is yours? Which car? What news? Whose bag? In all these expressions, which, what, and whose are examples of interrogative adjectives. They come just before the nouns, whereas there are some interrogative pronouns. Which is his bag? Which is his car? What was the news that he brought in? So, these are examples of interrogative pronouns. I hope now you can make a fine distinction between interrogative pronouns and interrogative adjectives. There is one more adjective. The adjective is possessive adjective. This is his classroom. It is my home. My home, his classroom. Take these two expressions. My is a possessive adjective which qualifies home. His classroom. His is a possessive adjective which qualifies classroom. So these are examples of possessive adjectives. Then there are possessive pronouns. This house is mine. Mine is a possessive pronoun. This car is his. His is a possessive pronoun. So, possessive adjectives come just before nouns. I hope now you are in a position to draw a fine distinction between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns, interrogative adjectives and interrogative pronouns, and demonstrative adjectives and demonstrative pronouns. So these are the 8 kinds of adjectives. Adjectives are very important because we all know adjectives add to the beauty of language. The use of adjectives adds to the beauty of your answers, your write-ups, literature, language, etc. So use these adjectives profusely and prudently in your answers. Just think about some examples. Virat Kohli took a catch. Okay, the sentence communicates an idea. The second sentence, Virat Kohli took a spectacular catch. So the word spectacular is an adjective which adds to the meaning of the word catch, which adds beauty to the sentence, beauty to the language. So examples like spectacular catch, amazing shot, wonderful bowling, all these adjectives definitely add to the beauty of language, beauty of sentences that you frame. It was an amazing experience, a mind-blowing experience, magnificent experience, amazing experience. So these expressions we know add beauty to language. So use adjectives profusely and prudently, judiciously in your answers, and that will definitely improve your scores. In the next session, I will deal with phrases and clause, particularly adjectival phrases and adjectival clauses. I hope that now if a passage is given to you and if you are asked to identify the adjectives in the passage and if you are asked to classify those adjectives, I hope you are in a position to identify all the adjectives and classify them in a proper way. That is all for the day. Thank you.